Hi, welcome to Seminar 5 in Unit 2. We have two things on the agenda for this seminar. First, some check-ins and reminders about what's coming up next. Then we'll come to our main topic, which is about managing conflict. In terms of check-ins and reminders, first of all, we want to ask for your patience while we make some necessary revisions to the course. We also want to reassure you that even though we won't be in the classroom together for the remainder of the term, your learning experience will not be negatively impacted. For starters, we'll be posting revised due dates for blogs and discussion posts. You and your team will also be receiving feedback on your trend analysis assignment, continuing to revise it, and preparing to submit your final draft. Changes to due dates will be communicated to you by your instructor. In discussion post number 4, we ask you to reflect on experiences with conflict in the workplace. Here, we're going to look at a hypothetical scenario involving conflict playing out on a trend analysis team, not unlike your own. Because these examples demonstrate conflict taking place online, it's also an opportunity for us to begin thinking about what you could call your digital fingerprint. The idea that what you write online is a permanent aspect of your public self, and it can have consequences, something that we'll delve into more next week. Here's the scenario. You are on a trend analysis team with Jane and Billy, your old friends from high school. When the three of you started at Fleming, it was only natural that you would join up together for team projects. Jane is also on the Fleming soccer and volleyball teams, so she is very busy. Billy works in the library, and he always did well in school. Lately, though, he's becoming bored and restless. He started skipping team meetings. Sometimes he talks about switching programs or dropping out. Your trend analysis has now fallen behind schedule. It's due in a matter of days. Instead of working collaboratively, each team member chose one section of the report to write. Your own section is done, and so is Jane's, but you can tell that hers is plagiarized. And no one has heard from Billy. So you decide to contact them. Exhibits A and B are two possible ways of addressing the conflict. Which one does a better job, and why? We think that Exhibit A is slightly better because it invokes a principle, the collective desire to get a good mark. But it has no plan. Both messages are quite ineffective. Neither raises the plagiarism issue. Also, given the serious conflict involved, plagiarism from Jane and total disengagement from Billy, it's not clear whether contacting both of them at once is even a good strategy. Here, Exhibit A shows you another variation on how not to manage conflict because it is openly confrontational on top of not proposing a constructive plan of action. In addition, you might be interested to know that it would also violate Fleming College's appropriate use of IT policy, which applies to any messaging that could be interpreted as harassment or a threat. Here are another couple of possible messages. You can see right away that they are very different, but underneath those differences, what they have in common is bossiness. Exhibit B obviously has other problems that might impact the student's employability at a later date. It's sexist, full of slang, and hyper-adversarial. But even Exhibit A, although superficially polite, is throwing blame and setting up a tone of my way or the highway. Neither seems likely to lead to a constructive solution. Here's a challenge for you. How would you rank these 4 messages from best to worst if your goal was to resolve the conflict and salvage the team? Would your communication priority be the grammatical polish and professional tone of option C, the friendly tone of option D, the leadership and action orientation invoked by option A, the emotional intelligence and strategic generosity of option B? You might want to pause the video here while you think about it. In our judgment, the best ranking is B, C, A, and then D, primarily because B is the only one that proposes a solution to the plagiarism issue. It also does so in a way that saves face for the plagiarist and transfers responsibility to the entire team. Thanks for listening in to this seminar.